The Nuggets are back home to face the Kings for the third time this season. Will the Kings light the beam? Let's find out. You're watching CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. Let's get it. How's it going, everyone, and welcome. I'm CS Chandler, here for another take of Nuggets basketball. So, the title already presented, and as you probably know, the Nuggets were back at Ball Arena to face the Sacramento Kings, who have been playing very well. The Nuggets just coming off of that loss against Boston, and so it was their first their first time coming back home from a road trip. And we had, again, no AG. He was still ruled out with his ankle sprain, and you can definitely see the effects that's having on the entire team. Even though he's not been a great point percentage player this season that we was hoping that he would be, he has still been adding a lot more to the defense end because he's a big body. He actually is able to kind of push back against the other players. And right now, you have a lot of basically smaller players in our lineup that are just kind of getting bullied around. And that is evident in every single game so far since he's been out. But good news for us, Nuggets Nation, was that P-Watt is back after missing over a month of off time with his knee sprain. He's back in the lineup. Julian Strawther has gone out. If you remember, he went out last game. He actually went out during the game because of a knee issue or like a leg issue. And it was ruled that he has a knee sprain. So you swap out one player with a knee sprain for another player with a knee sprain. One of these days, the Nuggets are all going to be healthy. I have hope. And so far, they are all injuries that they can come back from. So, which kind of just want to take a quick time to just wish Kyrie Irving a healthy and speedy recovery. If you haven't seen it, just real quick, the Mavs have been through it this season. I know I have said some stuff about the Mavs and everything earlier this season, but man, I feel for them now. Having lost Luka, having then got the trade from Luka of AD, who then goes out in the first game back. He's out, Gafford out, Lively out, PG Washington is out. And now Kyrie Irving tore his ACL. It was really heartbreaking to see. But man, do I have a lot of respect now for Kyrie Irving, because despite having he just ripped his ACL, and despite having that injury, he still went to the line to do his free throws. Like total Mamba mentality, Kobe, effort there. If you remember, Jamal Murray tore his ACL. He didn't get back up to shoot any free throws. As tough as Jamal was, he didn't get back up. He was stretchered out. But Kyrie Irving, with help from with help from AD, and I think one of the coaches or the training staff helped him walk basically to the line, and then they had to get him out of there afterwards. But just hope that he comes back and with a quick recovery there. Basketball is definitely more fun with him on there, despite the fact that he always is frustrating to play against when he's not on your team. So, but P-Watt is back. Great to see him back, and he definitely played like he hasn't played in several weeks. So, but still great to get him back on the court and get him warmed up more. He definitely needs that. So, glad to have P-Watt back, and hopefully we'll get some Swatson back too. Our starting lineup tonight was Jokić, who I will also say was questionable going into this. He has been dealing with a lot of injuries. I mean, I wonder why. Could it be that he's getting mauled every single game? He's getting cut up and beaten up every single game, not going to the free throw line off of these atrocities. and yet he's still showing up every single game. Like, talk about Mamba mentality. Like Jokić, man, tough as nails. Murray was also part of the lineup. MPJ, CB, and then Brody. The Nuggets were in their fast break blues. Kings were in their white jerseys. And the Nuggets won. Oh my God, like my heart still needs some recovery because this was such a difficult game to watch right up until that, like probably like midway through the fourth quarter, probably even a little bit more, like probably maybe like the last minute was the most heart-wrenching game that you will probably watch in a while. Because, I mean, at one point I was like, okay, why don't you just throw it, Nuggets, because it looks like you just want to throw it. And they stuck with it, and I'm so glad they did because, man, I would hate to have lost to Sacramento. I can't stand Sacramento, so I'm so glad that they won this game. But it's not getting any easier. We still have a lot of difficult games. Like probably the next stretch of 5 games is probably the worst stretch of 5 games for the Nuggets, and we'll get into that. But so glad the Nuggets got a win. Final score, 116-110. Let's go Nuggets. So what happened in the game? Let's break it down. First quarter, the Nuggets controlled the tip, but Brody misses his shot, leading to the Kings' rebound and a tip-in for the first points of the game. CB quickly responds with a 3 to get the Nuggets' first lead, but then the Nuggets struggle with missed shots, allowing the Kings to battle back and gain a 5-point lead. Levine knocks down a 3 to extend the lead to 8, which I really feel like Zach LaVine right now is having such a good time against the Nuggets because AG is not in the lineup. He wasn't in that game against the Bulls when we faced them, and that was before LaVine got traded. So he was in the Bulls game, and he killed the Nuggets because AG wasn't there. AG is his best kryptonite. I am still 100% Team AG. He should have won that dunk contest. Get Zach LaVine out of here. But I digress. So Zach LaVine knocks down a 3 to extend the Kings' lead to 8, forcing Malone to take the first time out of the game. Out of the break, Jonas Valanciunas hits a defensive or is hit with a defensive 3-second violation, giving Murray a technical foul free throw that he makes, and then followed by that, Brody with a 3. So they get a 4-point play essentially, but Jonas answers back with a 3-point play of his own. So he basically got 1 point out of that, and he draws that foul on Jokić. Man, Jokić was getting hacked up and down the court by the Sacramento Kings. They were definitely playing the more recent Lakers playbook against Jokić that JJ Redick brought up in this most recent game. They were putting the small men on him, and it was not good. Jokić did not have his greatest night tonight. He did get a double-double, but he earned that double-double for sure. There was a lot of atrocities happening. So Zeke and Pickett get checked in and inject some energy, helping the Nuggets cut the lead down to 2 before Sacramento gets calls a timeout. And it was really at this point when Zeke and Pickett got checked in, I just knew that they were going to save us in this game. Pickett, he had an all right game. He wasn't horrible. He had some, I actually wish that he would have played more minutes. He didn't get enough minutes tonight. But man, Zeke, the freak, showed up, and we wouldn't have won this game without him. I said it from the start when I saw him, and I've been saying it ever since. He is the reason why we won this game. And you're going to see why as I continue to break it down. But I just want to take that moment there to really appreciate Zeke. So they come in, they inject some energy, force the Sacramento to then take a timeout. And out of that, Kings respond strong, coming out of that break with an 8-0 run to push the lead back up to 10. The Nuggets struggled to close the gap, and the Kings take the first quarter 42-29. Oy, I don't know what's going on with the Nuggets. I gotta stop with these slow starts. So we get into the second quarter. The Kings open up the second quarter with a miss, and P-Watt fights through the defenders to finish for a layup for the first points of the quarter. It was like they were definitely aggressive. Give the Kings credit. They were very aggressive with defense, having actually been down several key players because Malik Monk was out in this game. Domantas Sabonis was out in this game. So they're two key players. Like, you can't get more key player on the Kings than those two. Those two make the Kings, and they were both out tonight. And so they definitely relied more on their Bulls, basically branding of their team of DeRozan and Levine than they did anything else. Followed by a block from Zeke, and then off an assist from Brody gets a dunk. So then Zeke continues his defensive intensity, pressuring DeRozan with another block and then forcing a turnover. The Nuggets capitalize with an 8-0 run, but the Kings quickly respond with a 6-0 run of their own, pushing the lead back up to 11. Jokić then checks back in at the 7-minute mark, but Valanciunas gets the Kings first to 50 with a bucket and a foul. And man, like, you can tell Jokić is really tired. You know, like, he's getting beat up every single game. A lot of the calls not being called for him, and he was turning over the ball a lot tonight. And it kind of felt like you were getting him in because you know that he's your best player. But at times, I didn't understand why they didn't just keep him out, or you get him in, but you keep another player in, that player being Zeke. Zeke at times was checked out, and I felt like he was on fire and he was doing everything that we needed him to do, and yet he would get checked out. I was like, why are you doing this, Malone? Keep him in. The Nuggets defense struggles in the second quarter here, allowing Sacramento to extend the lead to 14. The Kings challenge a foul call, winning the review and forcing a jump ball, which Jokić controls before CB drills a three. And CB didn't really have a great night tonight, I'll say that. He had his average night, but he wasn't on fire that he's been on lately. He definitely had, I would say, an off night compared to what he's capable of doing. The Nuggets then challenge a foul call on Jamal Murray after Valanciunas gets him in a wrestling move, like legit wrestling move. I can't stress this enough. So Jamal was guarding him in the paint on the defensive side, and Valanciunas gets him in like a reverse DDT move, like he was going to do some kind of even flow, Ravens even flow or whatever, if you remember the 90s WCW era, that's literally what he got him in. He got him in here, and Jamal was trying to bend backwards, and they called a foul on Jamal of all people. Clearly, did you not see what kind of hold Valanciunas got him in? So they review the play, and of course, because how could you not? It's successful. They overruled the challenge, and Nuggets get the ball. So right now it's the second quarter, and you have two successful challenges against the officiating. Moments later, Jamal gets mauled by three defenders beyond the arc, drawing a foul, and then sinking 3 free throws to cut the deficit down to 10, rather. The Nuggets take the second quarter 26-23, but the Kings keep the lead at halftime 65-55. So if you remember, the kind of pattern that I've noticed is that if you win the first quarter and you win the second quarter and you are the first to 50 and you're first to 100, there's a pretty good chance of you winning this game or a game. And so far with this one, the Kings won the first quarter. They were the first to 50, but they didn't win the second quarter. And I think that is a key part of this. So third quarter starts, and the Kings open the third quarter with a bucket from Valanciunas, but MPJ answers on the other end with a three. DeRozan catches fire, drilling back-to-back threes and following it up with an interception and a dunk, pushing the Kings' lead back to 14 and forcing Malone to call a timeout. The Nuggets regroup and manage to cut the deficit down to 6, but sloppy plays on both ends allow DeRozan to hit another 3, extending the lead back to 9. A foul is called on Ellis for slapping Jokic's arm, prompting Sacramento to call a challenge, and the call is overturned. again, but the Nuggets retain the possession this time. And then Brody knocks down a three to trim the lead down to 4, only for DeRozan to immediately respond with a three of his own. Moments later, then Russ gets called for a foul while trying to block LaRavia, leading to another challenge. Malone takes the challenge, which is then successful. So now you had 4 successful challenges against the refs. Every one of them was successful. 4 challenges, successful challenges. If that's not a blatant, look at the officiating is horrible for both ends. What are we doing here? I don't know what is. Come on, NBA. Be better. This is just ridiculous when you have 4 successful challenges before the fourth quarter. And there were challenges, and there were actually calls specifically where they were blatant. Jokić was getting fouled up and down the court blatantly. So was Murray, and Murray would get called for things that were not really a foul. So it was crazy. And I will, give some slack here. The Kings also did get fouled a couple times. They got held, wasn't called. So I'm not going to say that it should have been one-sided. It was not one-sided. Missed calls on both ends. The officiating in general was horrible. So the Kings losing this game was not on the officiating. The officiating was horrible for both teams. I just want to put that out there. But it was just another sign that there was poor officiating tonight. So despite the struggles, the Nuggets edged out the third quarter 29-28, only by 1 point. But that 1 point does still kind of help. So we get into the fourth quarter, and the fourth quarter is where the Nuggets decide to turn it up. Because we all know, or at least if you are a Nuggets fan, you know how clutch of a team the Nuggets are. They love the fourth quarter. They love it, especially when they're at home. They definitely love to turn it up there. So the Nuggets then open the non-Jokić minutes with Brody driving in for a layup to start the fourth quarter for the first points of the quarter. Jamal follows up with a steal, whipping it to Brody for another layup plus the foul. Zeke drills a 3 to finally get the Nuggets the lead. But Valanciunas responds by making one of 2 free throws to tie the game. A bad pass from Jokić to Jamal results in a turnover, leading to DeRozan getting a bucket that puts the Kings back on top. Levine then knocks down a jumper to get Sacramento to 100 first. So now they won the first quarter, they're the first to 50, and they were the first to 100. But they lost the second quarter and the third quarter. So Jamal continues his clutch play, drawing a foul beyond the arc again. He got fouled beyond the arc, I think 4 times in this game. It was crazy. And every single time he made every single free throw. I don't know if he would have made it if the game was in Sacramento, because the whole booing, and then they're crazy with their cowbells and everything. I actually do want to see the Nuggets play in Sacramento one of these days, and I want to bring a cowbell of my own to shake at the Kings every time they go to the line. I don't care how much hate I get from the Sacramento. I'm pretty sure that's a death sentence, but I'm still going to try it out. You'll know if it worked out if I do a podcast afterwards. But so then he draws the foul, and he gets all 3 free throws to give the Nuggets a 2-point lead. Both teams trade threes then at this point. So they got a 2-point lead. Then they got a couple more points, and they actually the Nuggets were able to get a 6-point lead. And then both teams start trading threes, right? Before Brody misses a 2. And then Jokić gets fouled, making one of 2 free throws, pushing the lead to 4 with 36 seconds left on the clock. So a 2-possession game. This is why my heart was pounding so much, and it needs some recovery time, because it was intense. The Nuggets defense holds strong, forcing the Kings to turn over, and DeRozan fouls Jamal, sending him to the line, where he makes both free throws to extend it back to 6. In the final moments, though, Zeke, the freak, makes the defensive play of the night with a steal, getting Jokić the ball, who then dribbles it out to secure the win. The Nuggets dominated the fourth quarter 32-17. Let's go Nuggets. And then they take the win. Final score, once again, 116-110. I love the Nuggets when they win. I love them when they lose too. I love the Nuggets no matter what. But this was definitely a good win despite all the struggles throughout it. And it was definitely an arc there for a story, that is very relatable when you start the day off and you don't feel great. And you have to figure out ways to kind of be productive within that day and actually get a win at the end of the day. And that's kind of what the Nuggets did all in this game tonight. So we'll get into stats after this. As a cinematographer, photographer, and now a podcaster, I do believe lighting is everything. And if you're serious about creating dynamic content, you need to check out Nnaji. They're all about precision and control. Whether it's soft, natural lighting or vibrant colors, Nnaji gives you full flexibility to set the mood for any scene. From compact LEDs to powerful softboxes, Nnaji has light solutions that fit every setup. It's ideal for photographers, like myself, videographers, like myself, and creators who want to pro-grade quality right out on their fingertips. With Nnaji, you're lighting like a pro every time. And we're back. All right, so stat time. Christian Braun played 38 minutes tonight. Did he play the most amount of minutes? No, there wasn't a single player who played the most amount of minutes, but he did tie two other players for the most amount of minutes. So it was Christian Braun, Jokić, and Murray all played 38 minutes tonight. CB had 15 points, 2 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 5 for 10 from field, 3 for 6 from 3, 2 for 2 from field, from free throw, 2 turnovers, 0 personal fouls, was a +8. I know I said that he wasn't as good as he has been. That still is a fairly decent game for him, 15 points, but he's been playing at a much higher level than that of 20 plus points and more rebounds. But to get 1 steal, 1 block is still pretty awesome. To shoot 50% from field is pretty awesome. 50% from 3. He's been better at that. So still a decent game from CB. MPJ, who needs to be better, played 36 minutes tonight, had 13 points, 12 rebounds, 1 block, 5 for 13 from field, 1 for 7 from 3, 2 for 2 from free throws, 0 turnovers, 1 personal foul, was a +2. Jokić, once again, 38 minutes. He had 22 points, 15 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 9 for 18 from field, 0 for 2 from 3, 4 for 6 from free throws. He actually missed 2 free throws. What's going on, Yoke? You definitely looked tired. 7 turnovers. This is what I'm talking about tonight. He was definitely committing a lot of turnovers, and yet you decided to sub him in for Zeke. I would have kept Zeke in and subbed MPJ out more, but he had 3 personal fouls, was a -7. Yoke was a -7. He was only one of 2 players of the winning team to be in the negative. The other one was Jalen Pickett, who was a -9. And I don't understand that because Pickett has some really good minutes. So we get to Russel Westbrook, who played 35 minutes, had 25 points. He led the team in pointage. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He was 10 for 20 from field, 4 for 7 from 3, 1 for 1 in free throws, 4 turnovers, 2 personal fouls, was a +6. And then Jamal Murray, again, 38 minutes, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 block, 4 for 10 from field, 2 for 6 from 3, 14 for 15 of free throws because, once again, he went to the free throw line like 4 times from being fouled at the arc. So that's why he had 15 free throw attempts, because he got fouled several times beyond the arc. So that's on you, Kings. That's 100% on you. 0 turnovers, 3 personal fouls, was a +21. And so then the bench, like I said, Pickett was a -9, but he had 5 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He had 1 of 3 from beyond the arc. and 2 for 5 from field. So he had a decent game, I felt like, still. Like, despite how we have seen him play in the past, he's still playing much better lately. But then we get to Zeke the Freak. 18 minutes, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 3 blocks. So that steal was at the end. That's the one I was talking about. And then the blocks, man, he blocked DeRozan. Like, his defense has been up there, and he deserves every minute that he plays right now for the defensive side. He's been great there, and a great substitution for the fact that we haven't had the defensive end of P.N. Watson, or Swatson, I should say. So he had 1 of 3 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 0 turnovers, 1 personal foul. He was a +9. And then Peyton Watson was a 0 tonight. He played 16 minutes. I'm sure he's on a minutes restriction right now. But he still got that layup for only 2 points tonight. He did get an assist. He got a couple of rebounds, and then he missed a 3. He missed 2 free throws. So he definitely looks like he hadn't played in a while, for sure. So overall stats, we got 46 rebounds to their 45, so only out-rebounded them by 1. We had 28 assists to their 22. We had 5 steals to their 8. We had 8 blocks to their 6. We shot 46 from field. They shot 45. We shot 34 from 3. They shot 40. They made 27 attempts, and they got 11 made from 3. We shot 35 and only made 12. So we were definitely trying from that end. We had 80% from free throws. They had 78%, so very narrow there. Turnovers, we had 13. They had 12. We had 14 personal fouls. They had 20. So, definitely some things there that show you why we ended up winning and they lost. So we'll get into big takeaways after this. Hey everyone, let's talk sound quality. Imagine having pro-level audio that's easy to set up, flexible, and sounds incredible. That's the Rode PodMic USB. It's got both USB and XLR connections, so whether you're recording solo at home or in a full studio setup, you're covered. And get this, the built-in DSP effects let you adjust the sound with 0 lag. You get that deep, smooth broadcast tone right out of the box. It's versatile, powerful, and basically makes your voice sound like pure gold. And we're back. All right, so big takeaways. My big takeaway from this game is that this definitely looked like the first game home after a long, difficult road trip. But despite that, it looks like the Nuggets are back to how they were playing in December, with a win, then a loss, then a win, then a loss. Most of these are also back to trying to dig themselves out of a hole scenarios that the Nuggets are putting themselves in from the start of the game. Playing bad first quarters, bad first halves, and then putting on an elite second half. It works 50% of the time right now. They need to go back. During their winning stretch, their 9-game winning stretch, they were playing good first halves first. You do the hard work first, and you continue that. And for some reason, they're not doing that right now. They're falling back because of that dang break, that all-star break, giving them way too much time, and now they're trying to figure out how to play basketball again. I know I'm being hard on them, but sometimes you're hard on the ones you love, but that's kind of what it is. They are trying to get back into the groove of things, and it takes them a lot longer right now than it does other teams. Other teams got right back into the flow of things, especially the Lakers. And I hate the Lakers, and then I hope you do too if you're watching this. And so, but you have to give them credit. They have been playing very well, and they've maintained that. So the Nuggets just really need to play better from the start rather than trying to dig themselves out of deficits constantly, because it's not going to have the better effect that they wanted to have later in the season. And here we are, kind of late in the season already. So the other thing, MPJ is still not showing good minutes. Despite getting a double-double tonight, to only get 13 points is not good enough for him. Like, he got a double-double. Yes, he got 12 rebounds. But he got 13 points. He needs to be getting a minimum of 20. Like 13 points is not a good game for him. This is a guy who just a little less than a month ago, before his injury, was making 30 plus points in 3 consecutive games. And now he's struggling to even get 10. I understand that coming back after an injury is a struggle in the first 20 games or so it takes them to really get back in the groove of things. Like, this is, we need him back now and not later, because later might be too late. He needs to show up now. And I hope that he's in the gym really, focusing on trying to get better right now rather than just slacking off. Because now we're also seeing him back to ball watching. And that's the frustrating thing. When you are a starter and you're watching the ball and not acting, that's an issue. You can expect that from a bench player, not a starter. Like, come on. You are a champion. You are a starter. Play better. That's all I have for MPJ right now. Just play better. I love MPJ, and I want him to be the best version of himself that he can be right now. And then for my last takeaway, I've been saving the best for last. The big savior of this game was Zeke Nnaji. And it's crazy when you look at his story. Last season, he was probably the most hated Nugget, which stayed strong at the start of this season. But now that he's showing good minutes, he's probably one of the favorites, at least for me. I don't know about for you, but for me, he's definitely one of my favorites. And I love seeing good Zeke minutes. And that just goes to show for how much hard work he's put in. It shows that when you put in that hard work, it will pay off. So whatever you're working hard on, just keep at it, because it will pay off in the end, which is why I'm sticking with these podcasts. I hope you are enjoying them, but I'm trying to work hard and hoping that it pays off. And much like Zeke Nnaji's hard work is paying off for him now with these amazing minutes. He made a clutch 3. He made a clutch steal of this game. We do not win this game without Zeke Nnaji. Zeke the Freak. Let's go. So then what does this win do for the Nuggets, right? So when I look at the standings here, we now have a win in the column here. So we are, this was our 40th win, by the way. So 40 wins, 22 losses was our win-loss record. And we are tied right now for second place with the Lakers. They have the edge on us just by a .005. So if they lose against the Knicks, which please lose against the Knicks tomorrow, Lakers, which will hopefully snap their 7-game winning streak, then we will gain the second seed back. So every Nugget fan, please, you gotta win. You gotta cheer for the Knicks tomorrow. Let's go Knicks. Staying strong with the third seed here, the Memphis Grizzlies are now on a 4-game losing streak. They lost to the OKC tonight, and so that puts them 2 games behind us now. So we got a little bit of padding there, not much, but not enough to really go on a losing streak. We still need to battle back and play hard, because, man, when I tell you the next 5 games, I'm not joking. The next 5 games are brutal for the Nuggets. Absolutely brutal. Like the NBA hates the Nuggets type of brutal. I don't know why they did that to us, but. Then just real quick on the Eastern side, the Knicks, having taken the loss themselves, are hanging strong at the 3rd seed there. So overall league-wise, the Knicks are still on the 4th place. And then right after them is the Lakers, and then the Nuggets. We're in the 6th place overall in the league. So the next games we have on Friday is our next game. It's once again in Ball Arena in Denver in Mile High against the Suns, who just won a great game the other night against the Clippers. So they're coming in with a win. We both have 1 win each. Oh, God damn it. It's the game is going to be on ESPN. Of course it's going to be on ESPN, because why would it be easy for Nuggets fans to watch a game here? So it'll be on ESPN, and I'm losing ways to watch ESPN. I've kind of used up all of my free trials on almost every single network out there or streaming platform. Got to find a way to watch that game. I don't know how, but that's on Friday. And then we have, what is it, on Sunday? So we have Suns on Friday. Then we have Sunday, we're going up against the Thunder in Oklahoma. Then on Monday, it's a back-to-back, so we're back against the Thunder in Oklahoma. So we have a back-to-back against them, Sunday and Monday. And then Wednesday, we come back, we face the Timberwolves in the Mile High. And then from there, a week from this Friday, we're once again facing the Lakers for the third time. This one will also be in Denver. So you have the Suns, who are coming off of a very well-earned win against the Clippers. You have and are playing decently well right now. You have the Thunder, again, 1 seed in the West, 2 seed overall in the league, number 1 defense in the league, back-to-back with them, so 3 games there. Then you our biggest rival of the Timberwolves, and then the Lakers, who are probably equally bad rival for us. So not a good stretch of 5 games for us. Very brutal. I don't expect the Nuggets to win all 5 games. I will be very glad if they can at least win 1 game against the Thunder and win the Timberwolves and Lakers game. That would be great. So that would be 3 wins there. And if they could win the Friday's game against the Suns, that's 4 wins. You take 4 wins out of the 5 games there, that's already pretty damn good. So hopefully the Nuggets can do it. Fingers crossed. We have a lot of beaten and battered players right now. So hopefully they just need to, I don't want to say suck it up, but suck it up. Battle it in, fight through the pain, and let's get these wins, Nuggets. That's pretty much all I got for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe. Share it out to your friends and family. And you've been listening to CS 105.1, where I talk about sports with good vibes. We'll catch you later.